All right. As everybody's joining and everything, if everybody wants to just kind of get into their command, excuse me, pull up command, go over to design. And this is completely up to y'all. And sorry, I have the mic. I hate the fact that I have the mic, but they can't hear me on Zoom otherwise. So if one of y'all thinks that you would do absolutely horrible at this, and you wouldn't mind standing there for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, you are more than welcome to have your personal one up on the screen. I say, if you think you're going to do horrible, because then I'll be right beside you telling you what to click personally. So if anybody thinks they're that bad, there is a spot available. If you'd like.
I'm like, if you use the word widget, nah, and every time I try to bring up a design, I place the design on top of the design, and I just gave up. So I figured
That's fair.
It's been 4 years, and maybe I should try to learn it.
All right, it's up to you. You can. I'm glad you're doing it. And actually, just to kind of tell everybody too, you don't have to make a magazine. Like, you don't have to print this out. Exactly. This is going to help with anything in design. We're going to be adding pictures. We're going to be accessing the KLMS, adding stuff from there. So anything you would do for like a Facebook post or an emailing or anything like that, this will just kind of help with that. So you would actually just use this one. No, I'll get you assigned into yours. So, yeah, if you know your username and password. Sorry, I should have put that as a little preface there. Yes. Give me a second here and I will open another window. Let's see here. All right. There is a seat for you as well. Oops, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, Zoom people, you don't see a screen, do you? In fact, Zoom people, we don't even see you right now. Let's move you here. All right, if you would just sign into command there for us. Yeah, oh, sorry. Should be KW Burl 832. Let's double check it. Yep, KW Wi-Fi. I think it's the same downstairs as it is upstairs. We'll try it. If not, I'll find it. Yep. Capital K, W. All right. Yeah. B-U-R-L. B-U-R-L. Yep. All lowercase. L. Kind of like Burlington, but cut it off. 832. And no on that. Fantastic. Everybody else connected? Good, good, good. Fantastic. All right. So first and foremost, welcome everybody. I'm glad everybody could make it out. I hope this ends up being really informative. Again, whether you want to make it a magazine or not, we're going to make a magazine today, but this will help you with anything that you do in design. I also found a really cool little trick too. Obviously publishing is really expensive if you want to print this kind of stuff. There is a way that you can embed this into an email and send it out to people as well. It's kind of like a PDF. And instead of you having to pay someone to host it, I'll actually show you how to get Command to host it for you at no additional cost. Just means you don't have to pay extra for something a lot of people pay extra for. So, all right. So the first thing we're going to do is everybody has Command, everybody's in Designs. All right. We're going to create design in the top right hand corner. Yeah. And let's do print and continue. And I forget where they put this. I apologize. I believe it's under lead generations. Yes, personally branded design. All right, and the one that we're doing right now is the Sensational Summer. So up in the top right, just click the use button on that. Yep.
No, I'm not this. I don't know if you know the answer. When do they come out with these? Because I know they're quarterly. So like when would the fall one be out?
So probably a couple days too late. This one came out about a week and a half ago. So it's, right.
It should have been coming out with the fall one.
Like
2
that-
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like the fall one should be out now.
The one thing I do like about it though is when this one launched, there was a ton of noise with it. So the more people utilize this, somewhere there's a bean counter going, hey, 3,000 agents did the previous one and there's 30,000 agents doing this one. Oh, people care about this. So let's put it out right earlier, spend more money on it, spend more time on it, etc. So the more you do stuff like this, the more they make stuff like this. And again, more timely and stuff. So everything on here is customizable. I know some of us haven't used design whatsoever. Some of us have used design and haven't really gotten along with it very well. And I'm not going to lie, design is a little on the cumbersome side sometimes, but it is a very robust tool. It is a very friendly for making content that's Keller Williams approved tool. And at times, feel free if you kind of get it 95% of the way there and you need to export it and send it into like Canva or something for some finishing touches, you can certainly do that. Just download it as a PDF or a JPEG, or depending on what kind of project you're working on, you can do that and add those little touches that you need to here and there. So the first thing I want to do is actually open up another tab with everybody. So if you would, just click on plus tab there, and we're going to go to kwcentral.com. kwcentral.com. Already, it's a website. No.
It's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. Okay, getting her caught up. I appreciate that. No problem. We opened up another tab and went to kwcentral.com. The reason we're going here is a couple times while you're making this, it's going to ask for our logo versus the generic logo. In fact, it looks really silly if you don't change it out. So we're going to go to the Agent Resources tab on the website and go down to Office Logos. Oops. You're fine. Just go back over it. You got it. And Office Logos. I know Judy just heard me talk about this earlier today, but these are the logos on our website. So whenever you're doing anything marketing related and it's required, or you just want to put the KW Central logo on it, these are the official ones. You did what? Really?
I
Okay.
didn't either.
No
Like,
idea.
I have
Oh
some
my
that
goodness.
they're not, me too, the like, the clear, the transparent kind, and they
Yes.
drive me crazy. Me too, because I have to put it on something and it looks all.
Well, there's both. So that's the next part on it. Yep. There's transparent on here and then there's non-transparent ones. For the dorkier among us, the transparent ones are going to be PNG. The non-transparent ones are JPEGs. I think we did that just to make sure that you saw the difference in the file types, to make it a little bit easier whenever you're making your site. The long story on it, if you want a transparent one, would you mind kind of putting the mouse across the logos? Anytime you go across the logo and it kind of blinks at you like that one just did, that means that it's transparent. So if you're doing like a thumbnail on a picture, like a watermark type thing, you would want that transparent background so that you see as much of the real picture as possible and less of the KW logo. Something like what we're doing today, where you may want specifically a white background or what have you, just find the ones, go ahead and move the mouse around some. So like the next one down there, that one has a white background. It didn't change whenever we put the mouse over it. So that's the difference there. And we do have the long ones and the little square ones down at the bottom. The one that we're probably going to get the most use out of today, can you go up one? Yeah. So actually, sorry, can you go to that one? Yep. That's my favorite one for this particular project, and it just kind of works on the most. Honestly, I'd say like 80% of your marketing material, that particular logo will work. So what we'll do is right click on that and save image. And most of the time, everybody's going to be using like their personal computers. So I do suggest going ahead and putting that in your pictures folder for this particular computer. Oh, go ahead, you're fine. Go ahead and leave it in pictures, that's fine. Just go ahead and hit save. That way, anytime we need the logo, we're able to pull that up on there. All right. Once everybody has that logo, go ahead and head back over to design. So you see right off the bat in the top left hand. Yeah, no, definitely. Mm-hmm. Tablet may be slightly more difficult. What's a iPad? Let me try something real quick. Yeah. I'm not sure. So I'm wondering if there's a program. For anybody on Zoom right now, I'm just working with a tablet, trying to see how to save one. Try doing share and see if it lets you like download it or if it makes you send it. No, it's making you copy it. Give me a second. Ooh. Did I throw? I have this one here now. All right. While I'm working with that, I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and change out some of the stuff on that front page. Do me a favor and click on where it says KWDBA name. Just kind of take a mental note of the size of that and then hit the delete key or hit the trash can. If you want to keep using your mouse, you can hit the trash can in the top right-hand corner, or you can just hit delete on your keyboard so that we can get rid of that. Yep. Now go over to images in the kind of topish right. Am I? No, I'm sorry, topish left. My mind's inverted. I don't know why. Yeah. Hit add, and we're going to bring that picture in that we just downloaded. So click the drag and drop or click button And assuming everybody put it in their pictures folder, now you're just going to click on pictures, double click, sorry. And then click on the logo and hit open. Hey, you're fine. It should. Yep, it's added. And now you can actually drag that logo over to the magazine. Bloop, just like that. And then I would shrink it down just like you're doing. See, you said you weren't sure about doing this.
It's just because you're standing there and you're talking, and but then what when all those lines show up?
That's a great point. So the lines that show up, they're allowing you to kind of line up with things. So click and hold it again and kind of move it around a little bit. So go back up towards where you were. Stop for go down just a little bit. So that line's telling you that you have it centered with the words beside it. Like it's kind of giving you ruler lines, so you can kind of, where your eye may be giving you a little bit of a hard time, you can see specifically where it falls with other things in the picture, the article, what have you. The next thing that we want to do is change some of this text out, because obviously, you know, it has a bunch of stuff that you don't need on it. So go ahead and click on agent team name. And then let's change this out here. Where did text go? Click on text in the left-hand side. Sorry.
I don't know where I am.
You're fine.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. Sorry, I know I'm making it difficult being over here on this side. Oops, actually, I thought I was going to let us change it there. It's trying to create new text. Go back to agent team name and just double click it. See if it'll let you edit it. Okay, it does. So just kind of remove that, type in your name. You can just start typing your name. Anything that's purple will change. Yeah. Getting all sidetracked up there. Let me see. I don't know how much battery I have. That's something downside. Yeah. All right, you have your name. Feel free on there. The actually, I feel like something else should be there. What do you think?
I wouldn't put
You want to put your name there?
Uh-uh.
Okay, well, then put your name there. So
but I mean, I don't know what would go in there though, but
you don't
it does-
necessarily need to put anything. You're going to have a dedicated page to yourself. And so everybody keep in mind too, with this magazine, you're making this your own. All of the stuff that's on here is just suggestions, down to like, if you don't want it to have your name on the front page, you don't have to have your name on the front page. You know, obviously you want your name and your information somewhere on it, but you don't want it there? Sure. Just,
I mean, it doesn't look like it fits.
okay, sure. Just click anywhere and then go back and click on it again. I know that's weird. So click outside of that box for a second. Yep. Now click back in it just once and hit the trash can button. Yep. Yay. Okay. And that's got a cleaner look to it. While you guys are doing a little bit of customizing too, down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a thing that says pages and it says 22 right now. Do me a favor, go ahead and click on pages. So technically there are 3 different covers that we could be using right now. The sensational one is the suggested one and like the one that I used whenever I did Andy's. But if you click on page 2 there, you could use a little kid in the pool, or the next one, which is just kind of like a cartoony thing as well. I kind of hate that one personally. I'm sure somebody likes it.
I love all of them. I think it's cute.
It is cute. And honestly, I'd love a shirt with that yellow.
Yeah, but I feel like people would be more likely to pick it up.
Well, feel free. If you'd like to use that one instead, yeah, use that one instead. Once you do fully commit to one of the covers, I do suggest just clicking on the covers you don't want and hitting the delete key, or I'm sorry, the little 3 buttons. So which one of these do you not want for sure?
I want the
Okay.
first one we did.
Cool. So hit the little 3 dots and hit delete.
I had to look at it.
Yep, you're good. And just hit yes on that. Okay, and then do the same thing for the other one. You can duplicate, but delete's going to be the one that's going to get rid of it. Duplicates if you just move. No, just leave it. By default, it's there to be used. We're removing. Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Daniel,
Uh-huh. Go ahead, Tammy.
hey, I do not see on my screen, I do not see the sidebar there.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'll check that out for you. So you should be able to, oops. Should be able to just drag it. Oops. It's trying to replace that, isn't it?
Oh, you know what? I just clicked on templates and I'm wondering if that's the same thing that just came up on the left-hand side.
Now it's sticking. Okay. We're gonna get it about the same size, and then we're just gonna delete.
Oh, okay.
Try to delete
Try
the
to
one that's
delete.
there. It's being wonky. Image 13, select, nope. Logo, that's the one. Okay. Not a problem. You can see my laptop. Okay. And Tammy, you're still not seeing the sidebar?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Because you can't scroll like within here, right? Like I can't make that bigger to see what it says because I'm blind.
The little plus button. So anybody that needs to zoom in and out, there's a little plus and minus button with a number in between it.
I found it, Daniel.
Okay, fantastic, Tammy. I was going to get there at some point.
That's
Maybe.
okay. I just found it.
It ran away from you whenever you tried to use it.
I can't get down.
Oh, you're saying like move it a little bit.
Yeah, like I can't. Like the only way for me to see it is if it's.
Oh, I borrow for 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're good. This is.
Okay, so 2-finger scroll. No. If you have a mouse, that's the scroll wheel on the mouse. So, all right, how are we doing? Ooh, look at you. You're moving right along with yours. Once everybody gets their cover, and feel free if you're still working on your cover, that's fine. Keep working on your cover. But on our demonstration one, we're going to go ahead and go to the next page in here. So this is just a ton of text editing. Now, you do not have to use this page. If you do want to use this page, they highlighted a bunch of text that you need to change out. Otherwise, you kind of look like a sociopath. Issue of my oral, our local real estate, blah, 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 breeze, I, we, etc. So if you are going to use this, Actually, let's do one thing with this and then we're gonna do it. Do you want to keep this page? Or,
However, I'll do what you tell me to do.
okay. We're gonna practice one thing with this page, but we're also gonna delete it. Because I just kind of hate this particular page. Unless you want to keep it, in which case, please leave it. Do me a favor, click on images. And also you already have your picture in there. Yep. Go to My Assets. Yep. So anything that you upload to Command will show up into My Assets. Like those are the default ones. If you have like your headshot saved on your computer, you would use the little Add tab instead of the My Assets. But we're gonna switch out the picture, the generic picture with you, just to show how to do it. So click on your face and drag it over the other person's face. You're fine.
My first headshot.
Do me a favor, hit delete on that because that one did not take well for some reason. All right. Drag it, kind of leave it over her face for a moment this time. You're good. There you go. Like bam. So it lined up perfectly. It just puts it right there ready to go for you.
Where did it go?
So Command is not perfect. Design definitely is not perfect in Command. Sometimes stuff will disappear off of your page. Sometimes going from that page to another page will fix it. If it does not, because I did run into this whenever I was making Andy's, sometimes the file type can throw it off. What I would do in some instances is if you have your picture saved, just open it in Paint or what have you. Do File Save As and change the file name. Like change it to a JPG or PNG, just opposite of what it is. And that oftentimes will fix that. Do you have like digital copies of like headshots or anything like that for you or?
I think I have it saved on my computer.
On your
in a
computer?
folder, yeah.
Do you have any on like Facebook or anything? Sorry, I'm thinking like the cloud-based would be the quickest.
I mean, I think that my new shot might be on Facebook.
Okay.
Not
If you have
perfect.
mine.
I don't know, let me see if I don't know if I know
Okay.
my password.
No problem. If not, what we'll do is use your laptop for a second to, we'll email some pictures and stuff from your computer, and then we'll just pull them over. Yes.
Okay, so how much of this like is editable in Canva? AKA, can I download the magazine and edit everything in Canva?
I mean, yeah, technically you could. Yeah, because if you did nothing to it right this second, you could actually just go to the publish button in the top right, download it as a PDF and open it up in Canva.
Can you edit PDF in Canva?
Yes. Yeah. Just be careful with it. It turns everything into images. So you would probably want to do any of the text work in design ahead of time because, yeah, I have edited many PDFs in Canva, but the text is a picture by default.
Not figure out this now.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
Are you talking about like for zooming the page or like moving it? It should. Yeah, just do like 2 fingers instead of just 1. I guess one of your fingers doesn't work.
All of them don't work. Okay.
You're welcome. How are we doing?
I forgot to get to My Assets so she can see if her picture is saved.
Yeah. So images. So you have the one picture that's there, but anything, well, obviously you're not gonna have it on the computer. Feel free to open up Facebook or whatever, but you can do add and move it in that way.
Okay. Just right click. Oh, hit the plus sign.
Are you trying to add to it? If you're trying to replace it, yeah, just drag it over.
I have a question. too.
Yeah, go for it.
You see how mine doesn't have the highlighted portion?
Huh, why doesn't yours? That's weird. That's actually going to be well, hold on. You're in a different view. Click somewhere outside of that for a second. And then click inside the text. Huh.
Should I exit this maybe?
Yes. But it still is not. You know, honestly, I like the fact that yours isn't highlighted because you have to go through and like remove the highlights anyway. But just kind of go through and anywhere where it says like we are or whatever, just try to change it. Yeah.
So what's these three names over here? Jocelyn, John, and Sally?
That is like if you're part of a team,
So I can delete that.
you can. So the main reason why I ended up removing this page from the one that I did with Andy is because this is kind of like the more if you're part of a team, you do this one. And there's another spot later on where there's a more personal message you can put for yourself. You can also write anything that you want in there. Like you can erase everything. You truly don't have to, you truly can or don't have to use anything that's there. Those choices are yours.
I keep it to access it and I blacking out my account.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll bring your laptop here. So do me a favor and just any pictures you want to use, unless you want to sign into your email as well. Since I'm already signed in, just send an email to me with all the pictures you want to use. And we'll be able to put them in.
So you just want the headshot picture?
Probably. There's probably 2 different places. So if you want 2 different headshots, feel free. What you got now?
I'm trying to put my name up here. It's like every time I go away from it, like I can drag my picture,
Mhm.
but once I go to click here to put my name in,
Yeah.
my picture goes away.
So that is happening a lot. That's actually what was happening up there too on it. But your picture is there. Let me go to another page and go back and see if it comes back. Come on. Sorry, stupid computer. Yes, it does. It's really just being stubborn, isn't it? Let me do this real quick. And then your picture one disappears. Well, do me a favor on yours. Let's do the same thing I'm doing with hers. You probably have that picture somewhere on your iPad, maybe. Let's see if there's any other thing here. Just as a side note for everybody while you're working on it, up at the top beside the home button, there is a file button. on a semi-regular basis, click on File and hit Save. Just in case you have any internet issues, you hit a bunch of wrong keys, something like that, just to kind of keep up with what you have so far so you don't lose everything along the way. Actually, in your case, like, do you have this photo or a similar photo on Facebook? Okay, if you know the Facebook, you could sign in there. I know. No, no.
Anything were to happen, I would do the whole new page.
What's going on with yours there?
I figured it out.
See?
I'm trying to see how to figure out. So these are the ones that have a transparent background, right? If they look grayed out on here. Because
Yes.
I just, like, I
Yep.
have a lot of stuff in here already.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
I was trying to figure out like how.
I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to
It's-
tell.
It's confusing, because I've got like my logos for my branding.
Mhm.
So I found one picture. I
You
don't
have
know
one
where
picture?
my whole other set,
Okay.
but I don't know what you want me to do with it.
Yep, just open up your email and send that to me.
So do I just, so I can't just share it from this page, right? Or what do I do? Do I copy it this way or?
Do you just, well, where you at? You're in pictures. So just open up like Gmail or something or whatever email you normally use. I guess you would use KW, so. And just compose the Daniel Miller at KW. Yep, it's already there. So you
Yeah, I
could
was
just
gonna
click.
say, it should be there.
Exactly. And
Oh, that's mine.
well, it's there. We'll get the original, so it should be a little bit bigger.
Okay, so now how do I?
Click the little picture icon.
Oh, this one? Insert photo.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. Do the paperclip. That way
Okay,
it stays
okay.
as a file. Yep.
Okay.
And pictures, which you'll probably have to dig for a little bit.
Oh, there they are.
I was gonna say you have a ton of them.
I do. I just didn't know where they
Feel free to
were.
add whichever ones you want, whatever ones you think you may end up using. Anybody that's downloading some pictures to put in this, you're probably gonna use about 2 to 3 pictures of yourself. So if you want to do different ones, feel free to go ahead and get some different ones. There's a way. Let's keep it easy and just send one, like put it all in the same email, but just select.
Okay, so I'll select this and then, right?
Yep.
It should work.
And then while that one's loading, you can go ahead and do another one. How are we doing on yours? We're in Facebook. Hey, that's something.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not too bad, but how do I get into my pictures?
You should be able to click, well, you are on your stuff.
Daniel, when I click into the, trying to edit that first block of material, it switches out. It'll light up, but it doesn't let me change the type.
Are you talking about the KW one, or are you just talking about like the A note from agent team?
I've got my name and my picture up there. I'm talking about the paragraph below, dear current future clients. When I click on it, it highlights it. But when I try to change the wording, it clicks out of it. It won't let me change it.
Huh. I will say, I know whenever I was playing around with it, Sometimes you would have to click like 2 or 3 times to get it to. Yeah, like I think on mine, I'm actually clicking 3 times to get the text. Oops. And Tammy, you're using a PC, right? Not a Mac? I can't remember if you have, oops.
This is Mary and I'm on. a
Oh, I'm
Mac.
sorry, Mary.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm on a Mac. And
You
it-
are on a Mac. Okay. Using Safari or using Chrome, do you know?
Oh, yeah, Chrome.
In Chrome? Okay, that's good. Do me a favor, try doing like 3 quick taps inside and see if it gets you inside the text.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Did you happen to find them yet? Awesome. All right. Let me open up Gmail.
No, when I click 3 times, it takes me to my pictures.
Oh, really? Wow. I'm trying to think. For some reason, Macs do like to interact with design a little bit different. These will all be in your downloads folder. You may, let's see, I'm trying to think what could be different on the Mac that could help with that. Were you able to change anything on the first page? Like up at the top where it had like the name or anything like that?
Yes, I didn't have any trouble.
Just for some reason on this one we are.
Yes, this paragraph or this text box.
Just for funsies, click on a different page and then go back to that one and see if whenever you go back, if like just like a double click on a Mac will get you into the editing mode.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, you should be able to click on it and then right click and save image as. And let's keep it simple. So let's click on desktop and hit save. And that way, anytime you want your resources, just look at desktop.
You're saying it's in here?
Oh, we're trying to add them now. So if as you download your assets and everything, your pictures, just go to the add button. And then you can either open up the file folder and drag them over, or you can click where it says drag and drop or click to upload. And click on, in your case, downloads is where things are saving. I thought you did 3 for some reason, but I see.
But I only see 2.
Yeah, 2 of them showed up really well. We can check the 3rd one, see what's going on. I wonder if one of them was a PDF. Was one of them a PDF?
I didn't think so. I thought they were all JPEG.
It was PDF. So that one's not showing up
Okay.
because of that, but that's okay.
Okay.
Are we doing anything else with that? No, okay, good. Are one of these good for what we're doing right
I
now?
don't think so, yeah.
I'll let you just click and do what have you. If you absolutely love the PDF one, you know what? We're gonna have fun with the PDF one real quick.
It's not important. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
it takes a moment.
Okay. So what do you want me to do?
All right. Does everybody using a Windows computer, do you want a quick little class on a cool tool that's built into Windows? Sure, yay. Yes, that's a great idea. Okay. All right. So in this case, Marcy has a PDF of herself. And it's a good picture, but a PDF isn't going to work well anywhere where it's asking for a picture. So we're going to quickly turn that into a picture. What we're going to do, I'm going to open up the PDF so everybody sees it. I'm going to shrink it. See, it's a good picture to use. We're going to have to cut you off a little bit, but it'll be all right. I'm going to zoom out. All right, I'm going to line that up in a way where we can, like, where the amount of picture that we want is there. And then on your keyboards, there is a button that looks like the Windows logo between Control and Alt. In most cases, it's a little different in others. No, you're fine. If you start typing the word snipping, there is a program called Snipping Tool. It is like, if anybody's ever used print screen, it's like print screen on steroids. What it allows you to do is you can, why am I looking way up there? I could be looking at the little screen and make it easier on myself. If you click on new, everything goes gray. And you can click and drag, and whatever's not grayed out will then become a picture that you can save or copy however you want. In this case, where were we saving everything? Downloads, I think, yeah. So I can just do that. And I'm going to redo that because I left a border on that. If you do a really bad job like I did, you can just hit the new button again and do it again. There we go. We'll trim a little bit on the inside. Hey, that's better. Save. Downloads, capture, save, replace. Get rid of that. And now, what was just a PDF, we now have an image file of, and we would be able to use that anywhere that asks for pictures as well. So snipping tool, again, Mac has kind of an equivalent. Theirs is more like the print screen, so it's a little more, you really have to mess with it. And sadly, I'm not broadcasting from a Mac, so it's going to be kind of hard to demonstrate with that. But Windows snipping tool, really useful.
So how did you add, how did
Yep.
you just go to add another picture to your assets?
Yep,
Or-
and you just click that one.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the same thing, if you want to go ahead, you might as well put the third picture on there since you're in the doing it. You're already in the right spot, and then just click the, yep. All right, how's everybody doing? Yeah. Mary, did our little trick work by chance, changing pages and going back?
No.
Do me a favor, go to one of the other pages and talk to Mary now. Go to one of the other pages and see if you can edit the text in them.
It's still really wacky. It's like it pops over to the screen with the text, the images, and then when I can go back and I can actually change one letter or two, and then it pops, when I try again, it pops back over.
I am not sure what's going on with that. Are you having a similar issue? I know you use Mac, but text is editing fine on yours.
Yeah, I was able to edit.
And you're
stuff.
using Chrome. Mary, we may have to skip that one on yours and see like how the rest of the document goes and kind of like just revisit it. Or like we were talking about, there are times where a program like Canva will do a better job. So you may want to get this as much done as you can InDesign and then download it and edit it with a different program to finish it off.
Okay.
Okay, so you changed that. I was gonna tell you, there are ways you can adjust that picture, but I see you already figured it
I
out.
switched pictures.
Fair enough. You can actually edit it as well. Whenever the picture's in there, there's some little, click on your picture for a second. So these buttons can kind of help adjust the photo as well. So you can reposition whenever it's one, like that one was, where like just part of you was showing up. You can do reposition and actually move the picture around. And it's got that border that's behind. It's just kind of like moving around in the frame in essence.
Okay.
Go for it.
For some reason, logo is not logo.
It's not logoing.
So see how it's like cut off here?
Yeah.
And then I try to slide it and.
That one's
Now
kind
that
of
you-
trying to,
now that
yeah.
you're here, it's gonna work.
So,
I'll figure this out.
There is a white box in the way. I don't know what that white box is. Do me a favor, hit delete on KW Central. Just go ahead and hit the delete key on your keyboard. There's a white box right beside the K. Yeah, right. Yeah. Click again. Why is that? No, I swear it looks like there's a box there.
It's weird, but I can't get rid of. Can I just do it?
Yeah, you can. In fact, it's added the space. So technically you could just, yeah, you could readjust the one that's up there now.
Oh.
They did all that stuff.
Changing this out.
Yours is giving you a hard time too. So I know on hers, we had to like 3-click. Oh, and then like 1-click. But then you have to kind of run around with it. I will say, I hate the text editing in this. Thankfully, see how I'm just kind of doing that. So you would switch those out. Thankfully, there's not a lot of actual text in this magazine, ironically. At least not text that you would change. There's a few little articles, but they're like complete articles that you're going to have nothing to do with, other than that they're filling up pages in there. And Mary, pictures and stuff are working on yours, right?
Yes, pictures are.
Okay, so just not text. Again, if it makes you feel any better, there's really not a ton of text you're going to be changing out. Outside of like where you put phone numbers and stuff like that. And the way you're talking, it seems to be adjusting those all right.
Yes, I can change pictures and headings, but not text in the main boxes.
Gotcha. We don't have to go page together. This is kind of the page that most people are on. I personally deleted this page. I just didn't like it. If you want to move on to another page, feel free. No, you may want to. You could go ahead and explore. You could find problems before other people get to it. So we could go ahead and have a solution by the time everybody else gets there. Go for it. So that is not my forte. And the next page, I was actually about to apologize because I should have gotten those numbers, but we deleted that slide whenever we did.
It depends on the neighborhood. It's fully in OS.
That would explain why I have no idea how to get to them because I don't have access.
Get sent out. It had been removed at the template. Ariel numbers.
Every month, so we would know where we were. So we could use it, and I would update it in my like listing presentations to show what
Yeah.
market share we have.
Mary Holder, maybe?
Mary.
I sadly.
I feel like I dropped her name.
I will say, I see reasons. So half the people are kind of on the third page now. It's a spoiler for anybody that doesn't know what's going on. So on the third page, there's some specific numbers dealing with like neighborhoods. I'm not sure if I was a consumer, if I would care.
So for neighborhoods, honestly, like that's, if you're sending this to your farming.
Yeah.
This is like, I send a quarterly newsletter with this
Yeah.
information, or quarterly.
So it is good to have that.
That, for that purpose, if you're sending it to like a farm and people you don't know.
Yeah.
In that neighborhood, it's a good thing to have,
Gotcha.
which if anybody needs help, I can help them.
Okay. Do you know how to get the numbers for your for your neighborhood?
Through Kelly Snapshot.
Okay. There's kind of pros and cons to it, because if you are doing it for a specific neighborhood, then you just made a magazine for a specific neighborhood. So it's right. You could do a broader area. Can you do the entire county? Okay.
You can pull stats for anything you want, really.
Can you pull the Alamance County maybe? You mind doing that now?
Oh, now,
Yeah. I throw you under that bus. I don't know. However you pull up stats. Well, I don't know these things.
Hey, I can't hear what, I think it's Amy or somebody may be saying, but I want to hear more about how they're getting their stats. If y'all can, let me know.
It is 100% Amy. We're discussing the stats. Are you using MLS or Kelly Snapshot? Okay, so Amy's using MLS. She's going to pull up the snapshot. I asked her to get the whole county just to make it a little bit more of a viable magazine for a broader audience rather than making it for a specific neighborhood. Although that being said, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to make up a magazine and just drop it at every door in a neighborhood. I mean,
Can she share how she's pulling those figures through the MLS?
you can. Amy, if you don't, can we switch out seats for just a second here? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm sorry. I can call her separately if I need to.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I think most everybody's probably wondering the question. You're just the only one that's actually asking it.
Everybody knows how to do it, they just don't know that they know how.
We are an incognito. Feel free to just do a new tab.
Okay.
So however,
I don't know my. I don't know my MLS. I gotta look.
okay. I was about to say, do you need a laptop?
And we can't hear her on Zoom.
No, anytime she says something important, I will. Yes, I'll repeat.
Well, everything she says is important.
Very true. So currently she says, I don't know my username and password. I need my laptop. So if you want all the words.
Well, I think she goes into the stats tab in the Alamance multiple listing. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the stats? What are the stats that I'm pulling? I didn't.
Sure. Yeah.
Number of homes sold. So we're doing Q2. So
Pull this out.
you probably can go into the stats tab. I don't. Probably need to look into that, but I would just do solds and date it for the second quarter, which is April to April, May, June. Sorry. To the end of June. And then just put, if I'm doing it for Alamance County, just put Alamance. And down here, you can see there are 463 homes sold in Alamance County second quarter. Questions?
Go back to the numbers there. The page that we're actually filming. Do you know how to get like average sale price by chance?
Yeah, that you can do under stats.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do it.
Okay,
So-
I
Go ahead.
didn't, that's okay. I just didn't know if there was somewhere somewhere different than our search or the stats that you got that. And I was just curious.
So under stats, you can customize.
Huh?
I don't know if you can customize by quarter. So
Mm-mm.
if you do year to, let me see. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably can.
So April to June. So that's second quarter. Where's my sales price?
Custom?
Yes. Customize average close price. And you just want to group it by, you probably want to group it by year because that'll give you the average sales price for that quarter for Alamance County residential.
Mhm.
And it'll come up with a chart. So you just go to data. 326,603 would be your
Gotcha.
average sales price for quarter 2 in Alamance County.
You rock, girl. Thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, if you guys play around with this, stats too, like that's a really good, easy way to pull some of this information. And then same thing for average days on market. So instead of close price, they have, see, I don't know the difference between days to sell and cumulative days on market. I do days to sell. It would be 25.
Mhm.
So there you go.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
I'm assuming somebody typed those numbers down, all three of them, right? Because we're gonna steal them here in a second to put into.
I'm gonna make your magazine. Yep. I just wanted to learn how to do designs.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I think we have, the other part of it was Keller Williams specifically, and I don't think that's gonna work very well. But again, do me a favor and actually go to, well, yeah, you can get out of that.
No, we have somebody here can pull the report.
Oh, yeah.
on Keller Williams for sure.
All right. All right. And who had the, who wrote down how many numbers of homes were sold?
463.
All right. Oops. I'm working on it right this second. Those numbers. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I wanted a little bit more broader of an audience than a neighborhood. So that's why I changed it out to Alamance. I figure a lot of people in this area would care about the entire county. 326. Let's see. Oh, let's use an uppercase K.
Yes, we have a strong offer that we are looking at. I'm waiting to hear back.
I mean, that was 25 days, right?
Yeah. Here.
They might have something in there. They do. They do.
Again, ideally we would have those KW numbers as well. Sadly, I do not have them. What's the general consensus, Mary? Mary Holder would have the numbers for that. Andy, okay.
Somebody has access.
I was looking forward to Andy being down here because I figured he would be able to help with stuff like that, but he is sick today. So that's what threw the wrench in having that part of the,
The last one I got was May.
gotcha.
Daniel.
So in this case, I'm going to leave that ready to be filled in, however. So would you like to go back to your design here?
Please keep me posted, period. I know the seller doesn't get off work until 5.
All right, so that's editing those numbers. The next page is really, really simple. So this is just filler for a little while. Dimitri, stop attacking her. Good. All right. Yep. The first one is 463 numbers of homes sold. And the next one is 326,000 for the average sale price. And the last is 25 for the average days on market. And again, we changed that out to just, I labeled it as Alamance Real Estate. And then it has the Q2 2022. So I just kind of left it there. Not very easily. Anybody that's having a hard time typing it in, yes. For some reason, it likes to fight. So it kind of turns into like an adjustable box. And then you just kind of drag it painfully.
Oh. Wow.
And then once you, I make it ridiculously big and then I shrink it back down.
That's what I had to do also, make it really large.
I think that was Tammy on that one, right?
Yes, and after I've done the first block really large, the others are working good.
Something I forgot, whenever you run into that as well, once you get one box kind of the way that you like it, you can technically copy that box and then paste it however times you need, and then just delete the ones that are there. That way it's all the same fonts, the same size, etc. This is definitely, again, I'm not going to sit here and bash design because I do love aspects of it. But this is definitely some areas where they could add some improvement. As far as like the filler pages, great. It's just there. And then you can go on to the next page. You may want to kind of read over them just so you know what's in your magazine, because it's your magazine. But and I will say what I'm going to do, since we set this from like 1 to 3, wherever we are at 2:30, if we're still kind of working on the magazine itself, I'm going to venture off from the creation of the magazine and move into what to do with the magazine once it's created, just to make sure everybody has that part. If you're not at that point, at 2:30, that's fine. I just want to make sure you know how to physically publish it and how to digitally publish it. Ooh. You technically don't need your own listing. You could just find a good listing from Keller Williams. Just give them some information on it. So the listing part, and this part I absolutely positively love with design. Do me a favor and click on KWLS. It is underneath elements, and this is anybody that's on the page that has a featured listing. Obviously, if you have any listings out, use one of yours. If not, I'm sure, I was about to say. Yeah. It may be on the wrong screen. Just go right until you can't go right anymore. And we'll see if it, there it goes. Yep. So we're going to click on KWLS. All right. And Amy is volunteering her listing. And Amy is, so we're going to pull up, what listing do you want to do as featured? Yeah, it'd be best. So searching KW listing. 1804. Sorry. Yep, you're at the right part. So yes, everybody on page 7. Yes. Yes, it will. 1804. Oh no. Internet keeps dropping on it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm about to read it out for everybody on there. So 1804 Wellspring, like one word, Court, and that's in Graham. You shouldn't need to type anything more than that. You should be able to just hit enter or click the little search button. Yeah, obviously we're looking at the North Carolina one. Yeah, you got it. No, I didn't. Do me a favor. Delete it and try to drag it back over to that for a second. I don't like how that did. Try dragging it just over the picture and keep holding it until that other picture. There you go. Okay.
Now?
Yep. Perfect. I don't ask why sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't.
So I just have to slide it over. What were you saying that I was not seeing?
So when I saw that picture show up behind itself, I knew it was where it like I wanted it to be because it was replacing the picture.
So you
Rather.
weren't seeing any other. Not seeing any of the other picture left behind this one.
Exactly. All of a sudden, it just became more or less the same picture, just a copy of it. So I knew it was replacing the picture. That's a really nice kitchen. I like that. It does and it doesn't. Sorry. So asking about the information, click on listing details. And you can go through and all the things are there. You also want to change the address, of course. Now, you have 2 different ways to do this. Some of this, depending on how you want to do it, obviously you don't want to sit here and type the entire listing description. So scroll down and find the listing description. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome. It does. I think is it the almost new? Is that your listing description? Yep. So click on that or hit plus. Yep. And then you can click the text that's already there and delete it. Yep. Yeah, just hit the trash can. and then click that text and kind of move it similar spot. There's a lot of finagling. I'm sure none of you have noticed that you have to do a lot of finagling in design yet. Try dragging just to the sides to, like, instead of that one, stop for a second, that. Yeah. Yeah. So you can change it in both directions. Just kind of get it down to the size that you want. Yep. Perfect. I see that had to have saved you at least 4 minutes in typing, right? Is that about how long it took you to type that, Amy? 4 minutes? 3 minutes? You're a really quick typist, so. Well, so it saves some amount of time. And you can either click.
But if you click it doesn't automatically generate to this text.
So do me a favor. I haven't played with this a whole ton. Delete that one for a second. Select 5503 North Loop. And now hit the 1804. Hit the little update button, the one beside it, sorry, the little refreshy. There you go.
Oh.
So yes, if you ahead of time select what you want, and you may want to kill, what would you say, maybe kill the Graham 27253 parts to just kind of leave the address a little bit bigger. See, there you go. Which that's a good thing. Unless they're smart enough, if you start searching that address, obviously you're going to find it, but. Mhm. Yeah, but you could. So if you deleted that, then you could just go to each one and hit plus and just kind of like size them together and all that. Yeah. Mm. Huh.
It's 4, 2.5, and
And again, please keep in mind, this is just like a template example. You can put as little or as much information as you want. You don't have to put the actual price. You don't have to put the address whatsoever. Exactly. So. Mhm. Well, Graham's pretty ghetto. That's why. I live in Graham. That's why I say that. Graham, for the most part, Graham's not that bad.
his house was built in 20, like, it says 2020, but he moved in 2021. So it wasn't.
Nice. Huh. Yes, you definitely can. Yes. Yes. Oh, no. Did the battery die? Did you fall asleep or did you die? We're going to find out. Oh, it fell asleep. I am that boring. See, my computer's falling asleep. Judy's falling asleep. We got the whole 9 yards here. Yes.
There, I can't.
I think it's just me.
How do you do that?
I,
Okay, but then I gotta get rid of that, right?
Yep, you got 2 of them. That's
Okay,
fine.
I got 2 of them.
Yep. Yep. Again, this is a love-hate relationship because the editing part is not fantastic in this, but at the same time, you are given a tool where you can make an entire magazine. And it's pretty cool, like the assets that you're given. I apologize that the editing's not just a little bit easier. Completely, yeah. Feel free to kind of insert like your name and all that good stuff there. Little pro tip too, what you may want to do is whenever you make this particular box, like whenever you fill those out, remember where it's at so that you can copy it. And then any page that asks for those bits of information, you can just copy and paste it to those other pages. Otherwise, you're going to be typing that a fair amount of times. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
It's
So-
so easy, just go to like I go to
Yeah.
QRcodmonkey.com is what I've been using.
Yeah.
And it's, you can even do the picture gradient, like the color gradient, you can add a logo, like.
So let me give you the steroid version of this real quick. We're, for anybody on Zoom, we're talking about QR codes. Marcy, can I take over for half a second?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This is not happening.
Don't go far, because I'm going to need you. All right. So for anybody that wants to make a QR code, here's a couple phenomenal steps to really help. So the first thing we want to do is, Marcy, what's your website? Marcy, like just or like the Marcy Brew or .kw. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is actually go to your KW site, and I messed up something. What did I do? No, it didn't pop up your name, so I typed something wrong. Here, sorry. Marcy root. What did I do wrong this time? Hold on. marcyroot.kw.com.
While you're doing that, what do we put if, say, for instance, we used Amy's listing? How do we notate that on that page?
Yeah, so as far as if it's a KW listing, putting their names on it is it's not a requirement, but it's like a preferable, like ideally you ask the agent if you can list it, like if you can put it. Right. If they're saying no, you may not want to deal with that person in general because they're just mean. Right. Exactly.
If it says no, you can use one of mine.
Yeah. And that's, if you're really worried about it, you could somewhere like near the price or whatever be, listed by Amy Klutz or, what have you. But like Amy was just saying, honestly, whoever's listing it shouldn't care because they're just getting free advertising. I mean, if someone really has a problem with you advertising their property, there's something seriously wrong with them. So going to the QR code part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this address, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go over to Marcy's website, and I'm going to paste it. And there's a method to my madness here. Why am I not finding that address now? Nope, there it is. Okay. I'm going to pull it up on her site. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because if it's Marcy's magazine, Marcy wants people that click on a QR code to go to her version of it, not necessarily Amy's version of it. So once we go to her site, we can take the whole address up here at the top, and we're going to copy that. And again, on your side, just go to your KW site, put in the address and find it so that you have it. Open up a new tab, and I'm going to type in QR code generator. Now, this is fantastic for any time you're creating a QR code. I very highly suggest it. Some people have no idea what they are, but more and more, if there's somebody that goes to a restaurant that's opened in the last 3 to 4 years, or if they like to drink beer, they've used a QR code before because they're just used so heavily at places. The one I personally like, just because it shows up on a regular basis, is the QR-code-generator, but there's a ton of them out there. If you want to go crazy and put logos and stuff in it, there's a lot of paid for versions that allow for that. But you can just type in your address or paste it back, however. It generates that QR code. We're going to hit the download button. This particular site charges you about 5 seconds of your time where they're advertising more advanced features. And then after just a little while, you'll notice in the bottom left that it has downloaded frame.png, which is the QR code that takes people to Amy's house on Marcy's site. So, or in your case, it'll be on your particular site.
Daniel, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you walk through those steps once we get into the QR-code-generator.com?
Definitely.
I didn't catch all that. I'm sorry.
Sure. So whenever you get to the site, it looks something like this, where it says enter your website text or drop a file here. You will paste the website that we pulled from, in this particular case, Marcy's website. Once you paste it in there, you'll see that the QR code has generated. You'll click the download button, which will pop up a advertisement. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do it again. An advertisement for about 4 or 5 seconds. And then you will have a file show up in the bottom left. In this case, it says frame and it has a little 1 because it's the second time the same file name has been downloaded.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I just want to, okay. Oh, okay, here it comes, here it comes.
Yep. Once that's downloaded, that's in your downloads folder, unless you have your web browser set to some weird setting, in which case more power to you. In this case, though, what we're going to do, I'm just going to click into some white space on this same listing. I'm going to click images. I'm going to do that same drag and drop area. Downloads, I can use either one of those because they're identical. You should have just one unless you clicked a lot. And then I'm going to drag that beautiful QR code in a not so beautifully editing program. Let's see, maybe just a little smaller. Use those guides to kind of get things lined up nicely. I think that probably looks good. And now anybody that has the digital or physical copy of the magazine can pull out their smartphone, turn it on to camera, and whenever the camera goes over that, it's going to go, hey, there's a website. Do you want to go to it? And it would pop up that listing on the website.
Okay.
If you want to get really, really snazzy, in fact, I do suggest at some point making a QR code of your app as well. So if you have a QR code of your app, definitely throw that somewhere in the magazine as well. So I know we're super, super far from being done with actually creating the magazines. I do, here in just a second, I'm going to switch over to how to publish the magazines and more specifically how to do the digital versions of them. So. And yeah, I kind of hate the magazine idea for this because it was a ton. Like there's just so much to edit on these, but I do love it because there's so many different examples of things to edit and how to edit it in design. So yeah, go for it. Mhm.
Landing pages? No, I'm just like,
You hate yours?
no, I have a couple things I want to cover.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can check it out.
Like, I'm thinking that there's not this little
Mhm. Yeah. You could, yeah. A home what? I don't right off. I could look into it.
I swear when Command started, there was directions somewhere and I can't find them. How
Gotcha.
to do it.
I gotta meet with you because I bought some integration and I can't figure out how to use it myself, like it's some Facebook integration that's. Snap or ASAP or something, some marketing. It was really reasonable, but I can't figure out how to make it post on my page.
Everybody, don't forget to be hitting file and save as well. Sorry, I've not been pushing for that, but you definitely want to do it on a semi-regular basis.
Can we do the same thing here on this page where it's got multiple houses?
You definitely can. I highly suggest it. So it was asked if a couple pages down, there's 6 houses, I think it is, 6 or 8, 6.
Yes.
Yeah. If you can do the exact same premise on it, and yes, you can. You can just find some listings, chuck the pictures over from the KWLS and, the information. That's the one that I did with Andy. That's how I did it. We literally just went through and found some that were specifically listed by KW agents and just threw them in. So if they looked pretty, if they didn't look pretty, I'm sorry. So, all right. A couple little side notes too. Just you guys get an idea of how to do the editing in this. You have an idea of how to do the KWLS, dragging stuff over. Something that multiple agents have talked about, and Andy was really pushing for as well. What you may want to do is talk to, if you know some owners of places or managers of places, people that can give you money to advertise for them. Put advertisements in your magazine, especially if you're planning on printing them, so that you can offset the cost. So if you go, I don't really suggest Office Max. They were ridiculously expensive to print it in magazine form. But let's say you went somewhere and they said, all right, it's going to come out to, $500 to do X amount. Find a couple businesses that would pay you $200 or, $250. Do a full page ad for them. And, you're breaking even, except for the fact that you have your own magazine. So you have this entire ad campaign at cost. So, or you can make a little profit. There are some agents out there that are actually making money off of their magazines just because they sell more advertising space than what it costs to print it.
So what are the criteria? So let's say I go to a business and say, hey, advertising space, whatever.
Sure.
What I need with creative in
Mhm.
this format, like what do I need?
Yep.
Size-wise, file type.
Yeah, so Amy's asking like what kind of file type and things like that would be needed. What worked fantastic for the ones that we made were actually just a 1-pager PDF. Assuming that you're doing like a whole page replacement. So of course, with the sponsors around here, we went to Timothy Stratton, went, hey, Timothy, do you want to put, and he stopped us there and said, yes, here's money. It's like, well, no, specifically, we need like an ad. Okay, well, here's money and an ad. So he did a full page ad. Sorry for like, good people here. There's Timothy's page there. So he sent me a PDF, which is just a 1-pager. I literally just went in and cleared out a page. I think it was the one, I know for a fact. Yes, you can definitely add pages. You do want to kind of keep up with how many pages there are so that whenever you go to print it, it ends up being the right amount of pages. But yeah, in essence, the PDF, you just kind of drag it like a big picture and make it the whole page. And that's going to be your best way of putting an advertisement in there that we found at least. One. So Amy's asking how much it costs to print one. For me, because I'm cute, it was free. But she said it was going to be $18 for one.
So maybe you would get, if you did
Right.
more.
Yeah,
you get a rate,
Yeah.
it's still gonna be several dollars.
Yes, the cheapest I think was around whenever you did like 200 plus. It dropped down to like $9 a piece.
Whoa, I thought maybe we were gonna be getting like that.
No,
I was thinking
you're right.
two.
Now keep in mind, this is Office Depot. I'm sure if you went down to like the actual local printing shop, it would be exponentially cheaper. So, I did the half size ones. I did the half size ones, but they kind of come out slightly ugly. It's more, am I selling a house or did someone die? So I don't really suggest doing the half size, although it is good just to get an idea of what it looks like. So at least you can go to the print shop and be like, I want this. And that actually is a good way to segue over to how to download these. I'm going to take over for just a second, if you don't mind. Now this is saved in your command, so at any time you can get this. All right, so sometime tonight, you guys are going to sit down with a bottle of wine and finish making this, look at some houses, put them in. That one page is the most fun. I'm not going to lie, I'm not even a real estate agent, but finding 6 houses was just kind of fun. Like looking around, filling them in there, be like, oh, that, if this was my magazine, I'd really enjoy that house, you know, being on there, etc. Little spoiler too, we were talking about having the extra page. The last 2 pages are almost identical. They both talk about like your app. I do highly suggest making a QR code for your app and replacing the text on there with a picture of your app. I think I did that. Let me, on Andy's. Yes, how do you do a picture of your app? Yeah, or the QR code for your app. So separately in command, I'm not going to leave this one right now, but actually I'll open mine. That'll make it even easier. Give me a second. All right. So those of you that didn't catch the meeting where I ran through this at 1,000 miles an hour, if you want to make a QR code for your app, go to Consumer, top right-hand corner. You're going to go to Site App and Settings, Site and App Settings, excuse me. There's the little URLs button. And there's this absolutely hideous looking website here. You're going to hit copy. And again, QR code generator. Exact same premise. Oops, yes, I accept cookies. And you would just download it. And then anybody can just download your app very easily. For anybody that's looking at the camera, that makes it a little bit easier there. Also, whenever I was doing Andy's, I found that I had one extra page that I had to kill. So I literally just found a weird, or not a weird, but just a random page, like a 1-page type thing in design, and replaced it with just, you know, this could be your new home, put Andy's information at the bottom and put it as an entire page, just as a filler. Again, you don't have to go crazy with it. Of course, being part of leadership, we're really big on the K-score stuff. Tammy, I know you are too. and we definitely appreciate that. So I do, you know, if you can throw some K-score stuff into it as well to try to bring in new agents, fantastic. It's a great opportunity. Actually, this came from design as well. It's, I think it's literally labeled as K-score. It may be labeled, let me look real quick. So I replaced one line of text, I think. You have to replace the logo and put in our phone number. That's all you have to do on that particular one. Let's see, creative design, print. So fast. We're a pre-licensing state, so actually right up at the top it says K-score, pre-licensing state, and they have the two different ones. They have the one pager and they have a trifold. Not a problem at all. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Okay. As promised, I'm going to detour real quick. So file, save. All right. An evening, a bottle of wine, and you're finally finished with this thing. Time to do stuff with it. First thing I want to do is actually create the physical copy. So we would hit the download button up at the top. I don't know why this is, but whenever I did both versions, I did the PDF for printing and I did the PDF standard. The PDF for printing was almost too intensive. So like the L's kind of looked weird. Anytime it was like double L, it had like an odd shape to it. So I did not go with the PDF for printing whenever we did his. At the same time, it still came out fantastic doing the PDF standard. Whenever you go to do it, the trick with it, you do PDF standard, ideally, or print, if you happen to have good luck with the print. It asks you what pages you want to print, and you can just select the all page, or like the all there. That's like the standard for it, because depending on what kind of project you're doing, maybe you just really love how one of the pages came out. Like Amy was talking about the listing, the numbers, like that you like to publish those and things. So for a different project, you may want to just grab that one page and use it for like a Facebook ad or something like that. In which case, instead of downloading a PDF, you could grab like a JPEG or a PNG and just select that one page. You just stole a page out of your own magazine, but you also saved yourself another 20 minutes of work, and you're getting a different audience. So definitely reuse. Do stuff whenever you're doing these projects, do it in such a way that you can use different parts in different ways, so that every time you're doing it, you're not having to just start from scratch. So modular, I guess, is the best word to use with it. Just use it in different ways. But yeah, download. In this case, we are going to do the whole magazine, so I have it all selected. Have PDF standard. Hit the download button. And here in just a second, it will download the PDF of this. Now, that's great if you want to go print it. Not so great if you want to share it with people. And a lot of people would prefer the digital copies to the physical copies. Or not necessarily prefer, but for the sake of your wallet, you would prefer to send out digital copies to everyone you know, and maybe just print out the stuff where you think you would get the most response. So there's a share button up here at the top. And I did not realize this until I had made one, but it's actually fantastic. What you want to do is click on the project. You want to make sure that it says anyone can view. That means they don't have to be someone that you've given permission to. That means they don't have to be a KW employee. anyone, and you want to copy that URL once you have it finished, of course. Now I'm going to switch over because this one is signed in as me. So if I didn't, like being me, I shouldn't have access to this file unless it's saved somewhere else, like a third party. But there it is. Like there is the magazine. It's being hosted. So whenever you do it that way and you throw it on Facebook or you put it into your mailing, however you want to distribute it, you're not having to pay for the hosting of it, which is fantastic because a lot of people spend a lot of money a year on their own websites and things just so that they can host things. So yeah, it's just there because of that share link. I don't know how long it technically stays. I guess as long as you're with Keller Williams and you keep it in your designs. But yeah, it's just there ready to go. If you want to get super, super fancy with it, actually, I'll go ahead and go back to mine. In Command, one of the designs is actually to create emails. And you can create the email, you can put that link into the email so you have a nice little HTML email rather than being like a bunch of text. Make it super pretty, and then you can add it to your smart plan or you can add it to your campaigns, however you want to send it out. Send that email out with the all pretty website, link to your magazine, and you're golden. It looks like you're spending, you know, $50,000 a year on having your own design team when really you're just spending an afternoon working on a page and probably getting drunk. So let's face it, you don't want to do this whole thing sober. I mean, it's painful. I did it. I went home and made up for it. So it's.
I totally understand. The first time I put together a little presentation, it was like a whole level of work.
I'm sure. And
The email.
yes.
Sorry, as like the email is just your newsletter or you can use part of it?
A little combination of both. So let me pull up the one that I created. Let's see here. Is this it? Yes. So this is the one I made. This is actually more or less like a template that was there. I just changed the text and stuff out. Now, I will say this is one of my dry runs where I messed up. I put the wrong link on here. So whenever I told you to make sure you click the project rather than the design, if you do just the design, you just get the front page. And I can show you that by clicking on his picture there. Oh, actually, no. Oh, this is the second one where I actually did get it to work. If you do just design though, it's just like a picture of it, where if you do the project, it gives you the whole thing. But yeah, the email, I believe I ended up sending out a similar thing to everyone using BrokerKit. Yeah, I use that just to keep everything kind of lined up a little bit better than normal. And you can put whatever. It's like, hey, you know, your local agent just wanted to give you an update on what's going on in our market and some useful information about the real estate market right now, and then have a link to your magazine. All right, you guys know how to do the stuff really well. I just kind of throw the tools at you and be like, hey, you can do this. And then you guys make it pretty. So I did want to make sure that y'all knew how to do that though. And the design, where did I lose it? Design. Just go to design, create design, click on email. And again, they have a ton of templates. Mainly you're just kind of replacing a picture with like a link to that magazine. So I have a ton of those. I actually do highly suggest you utilize the the email templates in design as well, as a side note. We're definitely not running through one of those today. But any questions about this? None. Bored to death? My pleasure.
You've done a great job, Daniel. Thank you.
My pleasure, Tammy.
Thank
Are we
you.
going to see you tonight, Tammy?
Yes, I have a guest or two coming.
Fantastic. I love it. Feel free, anybody that wants to join Tammy on this too. So what is it, second Tuesday of the month? Yeah, second Tuesday of the month. We advertise K-Score by having a career night. It runs 6 to 7. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of it. That's what I'm just kind of telling everybody. So if you have anybody that's interested in becoming a real estate agent, they can come and find out how to take their tests, well, to get their pre-license for free. Keller Williams will pay for it. They're not even obligated to join Keller Williams, but I mean, why would you not? So if you know anybody that's like, hey, maybe I want to be a real estate agent, just send them our way. We also have the Zoom link, which isn't nearly as much fun as coming out in person, of course, but yep, it's here in this building. And pretty much you'll see Tammy there because she's always bringing somebody. So we definitely appreciate that.
Thank you. Are you going to be teaching tonight or talking?
I'm probably going to be just hiding back here and clicking buttons.
Yeah.
Mary's going to be running the show tonight since Andy's sick.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
but I will be here. Sadly, my munchkin will not be, most likely. I'm probably going to leave her at the house tonight. But
Well, thank
it
you.
is the one at the beach. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So, just as a reminder to everybody too, anybody that hasn't put a picture on the wall, which I think is almost everyone so far, feel free to bring a picture, throw it on the wall. I'm sure like 500 pictures could go up there easily. So we're trying to make that prettier and prettier and try to win the competition at the next team meeting so that your picture can be up on the wall of champions. Yeah, so you can carry that chain around for 2 weeks. Well, unless anybody has any questions, I'm pretty much just gonna kill the call here. And there are cookies in the back. Tammy, there'll be cookies here whenever you get here tonight too, so feel free, you can grab one then. Mary, Chris, Jermaine, Sean, feel free. You can swing by tonight and grab a cookie as well. So
Thank you. Bye-bye.
thanks, everybody.
Bye.